cold drizzle falls over a quiet British town. It's Friday night. Most shops are closed, but outside a budget hotel, a crowd gathers. Voices rise in anger. Chants echo off brick walls. Get them out! Get them out! Police lights flash in the rain. Inside the hotel, families, asylum seekers, press their children back from the windows. For them, this place was meant to be safe. Tonight, it feels like anything but. Scenes like this have played out across the United Kingdom. Protests against asylum accommodations, hotels turn into temporary housing for refugees. What began as neighborhood frustration has been amplified by far-right groups, fueling clashes, dividing communities, and raising profound questions about who belongs in Britain. In towns from Yorkshire to Kent, slogans are shouted and placards are waved. Stop the hotels. Protect our kids. Britain first. A man with a megaphone shouts. I've lived here my whole life. We're told there's no money for schools, no money for the NHS. But they found a hotel for them. What about us? The crowd roars back. Some protesters are lifelong residents. Others are young men in hoodies, energized by confrontation. Some are pensioners who say they no longer feel safe. Their anger is raw, but their language is familiar, echoing decades of British anxieties about immigration. But these protests don't happen by accident. On Telegram, Facebook, and TikTok, far-right groups circulate images of hotels, framed as evidence of an invasion. Posts warn followers, show up, defend your town. They turn local frustration into a national campaign. Slogans and talking points are handed out online, rehearsed before people even arrive on the street. A broken streetlight becomes proof that councils care more about migrants than residents. A crowded GP waiting room is blamed on asylum seekers. Every grievance is repackaged into a story of betrayal, and every protest feeds the next one. Step inside one of these hotels, and the atmosphere shifts. The lobby smells of reheated food. Families sit waiting. Amir, 25, fled Sudan. He says quietly, I thought I would be safe here. When I hear shouting outside, it feels like I'm back home. Upstairs, Layla from Syria helps her daughter with homework. The child asks why people outside are angry. Layla whispers, we did nothing wrong. We just want peace. For many, these hotels are the first safe roofs they've had in years. Yet beyond the doors, crowds chant, out, out, out. Councils insist their hands are tied. The Home Office decides where asylum seekers go, often without warning. Local councillors face packed town halls, with residents demanding answers. Police forces stand between protesters and counter-protesters, trying to keep the peace. One officer admits, the moment someone throws a punch, it explodes. Britain has seen this before. In the 1960s and 70s, far-right marches shouted, keep Britain white. In the 90s, asylum seekers from the Balkans faced hostility. After 2004, Polish workers were cast as threats. Each wave brought resentment and resilience. Today's protests echo those same fears. Too many, too fast, threatening what it means to be British. But on the same streets, counter-movements rise. Students hold banners. Refugees welcome. Faith leaders organize vigils. Volunteers bring clothes and food. One teacher says, my grandparents came here as refugees. It breaks my heart to see history forgotten. These voices rarely go viral, but they remind us another Britain exists, one of hospitality and solidarity. Immigration has long been Britain's political fault line. Brexit promised border control, but asylum backlogs grew. Politicians walk a tightrope. Appear too harsh, risk condemnation. Appear too soft, risk losing votes. Far-right groups exploit the vacuum, casting themselves as the only truth-tellers. Their language seeps into mainstream debate, shifting the national conversation. February 2023. Knowsley, near Liverpool. A protest outside a holiday erupts into violence. Police vans set ablaze. Bottles thrown. Officers injured. Videos spread online within minutes. For some residents, it was frustration boiling over. For asylum seekers inside, it was a nightmare. One teenager from Eritrea recalls, "I thought they would break the doors down. I still hear the shouting in my head." Beyond headlines, the toll is human. Children in hotels fall behind in school. Families wait years for asylum decisions, their lives in limbo. Locals feel abandoned by the government. Neighbors turn on neighbors. Trauma deepens among asylum seekers reliving war and among residents convinced their communities are ignored. The protests are not only about hotels. They are about Britain's identity. Is a nation of refuge, proud of diversity, or a fortress clinging to an imagined past? The future depends on choices yet to be made by politicians, by communities, by people on both sides of the police line. The streets may empty, the chants may fade, but the questions linger. Who belongs? Who decides? And what kind of country will Britain become? The story of immigration in Britain is unfinished. It unfolds still in every protest, every counter-protest, every frightened child behind a hotel window.